Hey everybody! So, with the news that hockey is back, that is, training camps will be opening on Monday. I'm filming this, it's Saturday. And as far as Phase 4 and the games themselves, that's still to come. But if everything goes smoothly, yes, there will be games. But training camps open on Monday, and because of that, we're going to start doing some videos that are more directed towards training camp and Phase 4 and all that kind of stuff. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at one particular player, and that is Jesperi Kotkaniemi. And there's a lot of question about whether he's going to spend another year in the AHL or he's ready to come back up to the big team and show what he's got, or he's a total bust. There's a lot of talk that he's a bust. It's mostly Habs haters and some Habs fans. But, you know, a player who's 20 years old, you can't call him a bust. It doesn't really matter who the player is. Think about it for yourself. Would you like to be at the age of 20 to be told that you're no good at anything? You're finished. You're over. It's done. Now, hockey players can do other things, yes, but, you know, at 20 years old, is he a bust? No, he's not. Maybe if at 25 years old, he's still in the same position he's in now, you might say that, obviously, but not right now. So I'm going to take a look at Jesperi Kotkaniemi, kind of what went wrong last season, and where he might fit in here with training camps opening up and possibility of Max Domi not playing and the need for a center in the lineup if that happens for sure. And yeah, just take a general look at Jesperi Kotkaniemi and what the lineup might look like with him around and Max Domi out. Okay, so I guess enough about that. Let's get started. So, yes, I was going to say Max Domi. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, in his first season in Montreal, was 2018-19. He was 18 years old, 19 years old, and he made the team out of camp right after being drafted. I think he was a bit of a surprise as a pick, and he kind of in his first game or two didn't look very good, and he just got better all the way through camp, and he had quite a decent season, especially for the age that he was, with 11 goals. Well, we'll go through it. 79 games played, 11 goals, 23 assists, 34 points, and a +1. He kind of petered out near the end of the season, and I don't know if maybe there was an injury they haven't said anything about yet, or he was just tired. I mean, he had played a lot of hockey in the 12 months previous, for sure. And you know, a lot of players in their first season like that, especially if they're playing in a league where they don't play a ton of games. Like here, he played 79 games. He's definitely not used to that, I think, for a season as far as in a league. But I think in the season leading up to when you get drafted, you play a lot of hockey. And, you know, it affects everybody differently. So he got a little tired at the end of the season, but it was totally understandable. Now, the next season came in. We had very high hopes for KK. I know for myself, expecting him maybe even to move up from third-line center into second-line center and all that. And it didn't turn out that way. He kind of had a really sporadic up and down start to the season. 36 games for the seasons in Montreal. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points, and a -11. The -11 isn't really good. Now, you can look at the goal total for the games and everything, and from the season before, he wasn't far off. He might have even scored 12 or 13 goals. So it was a little slightly better there, but he wasn't making the plays. He just, in general, wasn't looking as good as he did in his first season. And there was something wrong. And then it came out October 31st, he was out day-to-day with a groin injury, and it turns out that he had that groin injury all through October until they finally had to take him out of the lineup for a little bit. He was out until the 3rd week of November, so he was out for 3 weeks. That's a lot. You don't know if it's the 3rd week, so it could have been 2.5 weeks or something, whatever. But he was out for a while, so it was a serious enough injury. And like I said, it bothered him all October. So he was looking good, getting back to where you were saying, oh, KK's starting to look really good, and then they played Colorado. December 4th, I think. I know he was out on the 5th, so I think this happened on the 4th. Or it was the 3rd. I didn't look up what the date was. But he got a concussion against Colorado with the Zadorov slew foot up against the boards behind the net, fighting for the puck. I guess Zadorov comes in and kind of nails him. And at the same time, he kicks his feet out from under him and spins him at the top. And KK does just that. He does like a pinwheel right onto his head, his neck, and he was out with a concussion. He was out for, and it looked like it was going to be bad. It wasn't as bad as we thought. He was out from December 5th to the 27th. And when he came back, he just didn't. He had maybe flashes of looking good, but he just didn't have it. And they sent him back down to Laval. Or not back down, he had never been there. They sent him down to Laval. I don't have the date of the Laval demotion. He played 13 games there and looked really good. He hooked up with Charles Hudon, was down there, and he was feeding him passes that were turning into goals. He had 1 goal and 12 assists for 13 points in those 13 games, and was really looking good until there was a play, I think it was along the boards. Oh God, I think it was Columbus. Anyways, he was in the States, and he got hit by one of the opponent's team's big bruiser. That's what I saw. The guy was a bruiser, and he bruised or did something to his spleen. We were worried it was surgery. There was no surgery involved. He needed a lot of rest, and he was going to be out for the rest of the season. So, so he was out for the season. Now, at that point, nobody knew that, the pandemic was going to happen. Nobody knew the season was going to get suspended. It gave KK the time he needed to rest. And that's what he did. He rested, and once he was feeling better and he was able to skate and he was able to practice, what he did was very smart. He started working with a skating coach and a hockey coach, very respected coaches in Finland. And what they do is take a player like KK, who's kind of struggling at the beginning of his career to be to reach that next level, and they get them there. They improve his skating. KK's skating needed to be improved, and I'm not sure what the hockey coach did, but all those little things where we could see that he could get there and he wasn't. I'm sure that's what they worked on. Now, is he ready 100%? We don't know because we haven't really seen him, but it's it's something to look forward to, that maybe KK can be ready. He's fully healed. He's cleared to play. So where does he slot into the lineup? If he's ready, if it's the KK, maybe it should be an improved KK over season 1 and definitely over season 2. And with all the promise that this kid has, whether you like the draft pick or not, to me doesn't matter. KK's not a bust. KK is a future number 2 center on this team. I don't think anymore number 1. When you have Suzuki, I think Suzuki is better as a number 1 center. KK better as a number 2 center. And I think that combination can go for years and can bring this team far. So where does he slot into the lineup? Now, I know I did kind of a lineup video the other day. And so it's, so we're going to take another look, knowing KK's going to be there. And I'm still on the thought that Max Domi's not playing. He wants to play. He said he will play if he can, and it's up to the doctors and all that. But with players like, we already know Travis Hamonic, I think in Calgary, he's opted out. Sven Berchi in Vancouver has opted out. It's already early. They have till Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time to opt out. So can't start on Monday. They have till 5 p.m. that day in writing to the NHL, and there's 2 places they have to do it in. I think the NHLPA and the league in some form, and then they can opt out. So we're going to see a lot more players opting out than we might think. Remember, it was a 79% approval by the players. That means 21% of the players didn't vote to approve. That means I think there's a potential there, at least of the 21% of players, to be opting out. So that's a possibility. We won't know, like I said, till Monday afternoon. And when that happens, I'll try to have it out as soon as the information's released. So probably on Tuesday, we're all probably going to be putting out the same videos with the guys that are opted out. On Montreal, I really expect Domi. Anybody else, I don't really know. I know Victor Mete is in camp and practicing, so that was a question mark. I know Lucas Vedimo, not going to be in camp. They're not taking him with. So Lucas Vedimo, I don't know if I had him in the last one offhand, but he is definitely out. I read that this morning. So let's take a look and see what the lineup could look like. Yeah, good. I'm on the good side. Okay, so we know, first line, we know Tatar, Danault, Galley. I don't think that's a question mark for anybody. Those 3 guys put together make up, how do I put it? Individually, they're good players. Some might say Galley's a great player. It definitely is work effort. That's for sure. There's hardly anybody in the league who, if anybody, works harder than Galley. But you take those three good players and you put them together and you've got a great line. And that line's not going to be broken up. Now, for me, with Domi out, because well, I'm not going to say you know how I feel, but I'm leaving that. But to me, anyways, either way, Nick Suzuki's your second line center. Yeah, he's a rookie, but I think he's going to be one of those great players. And you know, these elite guys, some of them can step right in that first season and somehow get a hold on that position and just go with it. And I don't think he's going to look backward. So I think Nick Suzuki goes there. I'd like to line him up with Jonathan Drouin, who looks fantastic in practice. In the highlight videos I've seen of him in practice, he looks fantastic. So Drouin, and then I want to give him Armia, a nice big guy. Armia, you know, he's good on both ends of the ice. He's good at making a play happen in the offensive zone out of nothing. And I like to see the size on this line with Armia. I don't see anybody else right now that's a second line right winger that we have. You know, with the Kovalchuk have been traded at the trade deadline. You might have said Kovalchuk there. That would have made sense because him and Suzuki had some chemistry. But he's not here. It's Armia for me. I'm going to do the fourth line. We'll go to the third line after. I know it's weird. Fourth line, I think it's Jake Evans. Now, you got to wonder, though, what kind of chance does a team going in with two rookie centers against the Pittsburgh Penguins have? I don't know. But for me, I don't really want them to have that great a chance. And the fan in me really wants them to. I don't really know. But I think it's going to be Evans here. I don't see who else it could be. So you got Evans at center. Charles Hudon needs to play and do something. Behind him, I think, is Ryan Poehling. Two guys that really need to show something. Poehling, let's see what he's learned in the AHL and see how he's improved. I think those two guys slot in on the left. On the right, you got Wheel and Weiss. We know Weiss is in camp. Weiss has got some experience. He's a fourth liner. If he's on his game, Weiss can help you there. And you've got Wheel on the right side. He is a right-handed shot. I put him on the right side. That leaves the third line. Third line right wing, Arturi Lehkonen. He's not going anywhere. Smart player. I love him now. Last season was different, but this season he's won me over. I love the kid. He needs to get a little bit. He's a finished player, and he needs to get a bit more finish to his game on the offensive side. But I love the kid. Think he's perfect there on that third line left wing. On the right side is Paul Byron. Byron also looking great. He looked great at the last 4 or 5 games he played when he was finally healed from his injury. And looks like in practice he's still on the ball or still got that energy. He's just got some kind of energy look to him that he didn't have at the beginning of last season or this season when he just didn't have it. So that leaves the center. So who's going to be in the center? Now, if Max Domi plays, you got to figure Max Domi's in there. And then KK, they'll have to slot him in somewhere on the wing, you know? Like you can see Byron shifting over here or here, and then that leaves a wing open for KK. But I think KK is going to slot in here. Because I don't think Domi's going to play. So unless KK in camp shows he's nothing better than last season or earlier in the season, I think he slots in here with Domi out. And even with Domi in, you might even say that they'll rework it somehow and have Domi on the wing with KK centering there. So, or they'll move KK to the wing. And let's face it, Suzuki started on the wing, and Poehling has played wing all this season that he played. And, you know, so if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for KK if he has to slot over for this tournament, for this playoffs. And we'll see where it goes from there for next year. So I really think that's the lineup. Now, while we're talking about lineup, let's take a look at the at the defense, because now we know Mete's in. So I still think it's very simple. Sherratt Weber, Kulak Petrie, and Mete, and whoever's on the other side, because I think it worked at the end of the season. It was working, and this is who you have. I don't think you have anybody else that you're going to slot in there. You want to hope that Kulak is playing the way Kulak was playing at the last part of the season and not at the beginning, and he doesn't need time to work it in, because these guys all have to get their game going fast if they want to win. And on the other side, Folin, because Folin is the most experienced guy you've got. You know Folin can play, and he's the guy on the right side, other than Juleson and Fleury. And depending on the kind of camps they have, They're easily, if they're having good camps, and Julian's confident in that, Folin is going to get slotted out for sure. That's what I think. Now, backing up on the left side, it's kind of weak because you've got Willette, although I like what I saw from Willette. I do. I like what I saw from Willette, so I've got him up there first. You've got Gustav Olofsson, and you've got Otto Leskinen, but I don't think with very much NHL experience, I'm not positive about Olofsson. He might have a little bit. So I think that's how your defense is going to look like. This is how your forward lines are going to look like. Because remember, there's no sexy guy coming in from somewhere else that they can pick up. It's not happening. It's the guys who are on the roster that we all know, and this is how I think they're going to fit in. The only question mark to me is Domi, and that's unless somebody opts out, and we don't know who's opting out or not. So until then, and I'll update this because listen, that's what we do. I'll update it. I don't mind. This is fun to do. So now in goal, I don't think it's a secret. I know goalie girls rule, but that's Fedgehead, one of my subscribers, and he's a real goaltending guy. His daughter is a goaltender, and he when I want to know something about goaltending, I go to Jeff, and he thinks Price might opt out. He thinks he might, but he did tell me something yesterday. It was really, really interesting. Primo. I forget the quote. I didn't write down the quote. I told him I was going to use the quote on. He more and more and more he finds Primo is pretty much a Price clone. It's not a bad thing. Everything that Price does well, Primo does well, and does it looking like Price. And we noticed that in the 2 games he played in Montreal this past season, that he looks so much like Price. He plays the net so much like Price. So he says if Price opts out, he's confident in Primo for this qualifying round. I think Primo's the backup. I don't think you go with Lindgren, and I think with considering a lot of teams might carry 4 goaltenders, you never know how it might go. I think you might have McNiven as the guys behind the scenes. I don't know if they get any time playing or not, but I think it's Price, Primo. If it's not, then it's Primo and Lindgren because Lindgren has more experience than McNiven, and I think that's how it goes. So there you go. That's my look at will KK play. Just updating you on him if you're not sure what happened with him, and where he would slot in, what the lineup would look like, and there you go, a bunch of things in one video. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video at this point, but it's a bunch of things, and that's how I think it's going to be. That's really what I think the lineup pretty much is going to look like, in my opinion. Obviously, in my opinion. So thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Thumbs up if you liked the video, and head down there to do that. And you can leave any comments in the comment section, and let me know what you think about this stuff, about KK, where he'll slot in, if you think my lineup makes any sense, and let me know in the comment section. I know I've been off answering. I'm sorry, but I'm going to get to that today or tomorrow. I'm going to answer all my comments that I've missed, and so please leave me a comment down there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. And tonight is Saturday. If you're watching it when this comes out, check out the Saturday Night Hockey Talk at 8 o'clock. The video is going to be thumbnail and the whatever's out there. Check it out. Set a reminder. Hope to see you there. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Wear a mask when you're in a lot of people around. And that'll get you back here watching more Talkin' Habs videos. And that's it. Peace out, y'all. I'm going to see you next video, and I'll see you at the live stream tonight. Bye, y'all.